Boker Tov, good morning. Boker Tov, good morning. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Boker Tov, good morning. Boker Tov, good morning. Tain li chibuk. Tain li chibuk. Boker Tov, Shmi Morah Elana. My name is Morah Elana. What's your name? Can you tell me? Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to read stories with me today. Boker Tov, good morning. Boker Tov, good morning. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Can you give me a chibuk, a great big hug? Boker Tov, good morning. Boker Tov, good morning. And tain li chibuk. Tain li chibuk. I'm so excited you came to read stories with me today. Let's get started.
Shalom, Chaverim. This book is called Sammy Spider's First Hanukkah. The author is Sylvia Rouss, and the illustrator is Katherine Janus Kahn. Let's get started. Sammy Spider shivered in his web high up on the Shapiro's living room ceiling. "Look, Mother," he called. "What is Mrs. Shapiro lighting?" "Well, that's a menorah," answered Mrs. Spider. "The Shapiros are celebrating Hanukkah. They will light one more candle every night for 8 nights. "It's beautiful," said Sammy as he lowered himself on a strand of webbing to take a closer look. "Be careful," warned Mrs. Spider. "Don't get too close." What number is that, friends? It was the first night of Hanukkah, and Sammy stopped right above the shamash, the helper candle, that Mrs. Shapiro had used to light the first candle. "Mother, the flames feel so good on my cold feet." "Oh, what color is that dreidel, Chavirim?" Mr. Shapiro reached into his pocket and handed Josh a bright blue dreidel. Good guess, friends. Sammy hovered above the flame and listened as Mr. Shapiro told Josh the story of the Maccabees and the miracle of the oil. The smell of frying potato latkes filled the room. Josh gave the dreidel a spin and squealed with delight. It was spinning so fast that Sammy felt a little dizzy watching from above. When the candles had melted, the flames flickered out, and the Shapiros announced bedtime and took Josh upstairs. "Oof, it's your bedtime soon, Sammy," called Mrs. Spider. Sammy climbed the strands of silk webbing and crawled into a cozy corner. Mrs. Spider gently tucked him in. "Mother," asked Sammy, "do you think I could have a blue dreidel to spin?" "Silly little Sammy," his mother laughed. "Spiders don't spin dreidels. Spiders spin webs." What number is that, friends? On the second night of Hanukkah, Sammy watched expectantly as Mrs. Shapiro helped Josh light 2 candles, and his feet were cold. He wanted to warm them near the flame again. Tonight, Mr. Shapiro gave Josh, what color do you think, friends? That's right, a red dreidel, and now he had 2 to spin. Everyone sang Hanukkah songs and ate donuts filled with sweet red cherry filling. The spinning dreidels made Sammy even dizzier. That night, When Mrs. Spider tucked Sammy into his soft web, Sammy, Mother, do you think I could have a red dreidel to spin? Oh, silly little Sammy, his mother answered. Spiders don't spin dreidels. Spiders spin webs. What number is that, friends? Look at how many candles. On the third night, Sammy once again warmed his feet above the menorah and watched as the Shapiros used the shamash to light 3 candles. They gave Josh what colored dreidel? That's right, a yellow dreidel. And now they had 3 dreidels to spin. The dreidels twisted across the floor until the red one dropped, and the blue one, and then the last yellow one. Mother, could I have a yellow dreidel to spin? Sammy asked at bedtime. Silly little Sammy, she said. Spiders don't spin dreidels. Spiders spin webs. What number, friends? How many candles? Each night, Sammy watched from his warm perch above the shamash. The 4th night, the Shapiros lit 4 candles and gave what color to Josh, friends? That's right, a green dreidel. On the 5th night, they lit 5 candles and gave Josh a purple dreidel. On the 6th night, they lit 6 candles and gave Josh an orange dreidel. And on the 7th night, they lit 7 candles and they gave Josh a rose-colored dreidel. Sammy had to raise himself a little higher on the web because his feet were getting very hot. Look at all the candles, Haverim. Whoa, on the 8th night, Sammy felt sad as he watched the Shapiros light all 8 candles and gave Josh, what color? A brown wooden dreidel. I'm gonna miss Hanukkah, he thought. I won't smell the delicious latkes, and I won't hear any Hanukkah songs. I won't be able to watch Josh spin all the colorful dreidels. And how will I warm my feet? What do you think, Haverim? If only I could have just one dreidel, he thought, as the 8 dreidels danced merrily across the floor. What fun I would have! Then he remembered his mother's words. Spiders don't spin dreidels, Sammy. Spiders spin webs. But when the last candle flickered out and Sammy climbed reluctantly up the web to bed, his mother smiled and handed him a gift and said, Happy Hanukkah, Sammy. Haverim, what do you think is in Sammy's Hanukkah present? Sammy opened the package and found 8 little socks, one for each night of Hanukkah and one for each of his 8 little feet. Each sock was a different color, and each one Mrs. Shapiro had spun a little dreidel. Sammy pulled on his new socks, and there was a blue one, and a red one, and a yellow one, and a green one, and an orange one, and a purple one, and a rose-colored one. And do you remember the last colored dreidel, Haverim? That's right, a brown one. He slid happily down a silky strand and began to spin faster and faster. Look, Mother, he shouted, spinning my dreidels, all 8 of them. That was a great story.
Wow, what a fun story. Sammy really enjoyed the candles and the dreidels. What's your favorite part of Hanukkah? Miss Elana loves spinning the dreidels. Do you have a favorite part of Hanukkah? I would love to hear.